Yeah, that's good. Unfortunately, we cannot really use... We cannot really use predictions on these series because we're using record the games, but... Let's see. Alright. Perfect. Scout goes down already for Mr. Slam. And the stream title should be updated right now with the flags as well. Let me know if that's the case. Can you see the flags for the players? Regardless though, we have Lithuanians for the gals, Slams playing Bulgarians. And this is Kawasan. So for Lithuanians, we get extra resources, 150 extra food. We have on top of that for Lithuanians also extra attack on Knights and Lycha units per each relic garrison up to 4 relics, as well as fast moving skirmish spear units with the team bonus being also faster working monasteries. Now this could be really good though. Now I am now getting a villager down over there that I think it's going to be the first blow, but it's so close. I think he faked like 3 hits over there, otherwise he would have been able to get the villager down, no problem. But he gets pushed away over here. Boy, that was close. The gal? Yeah, the guy's just roaming around with the scouts over here. Actually chasing Slam away, and then he's going to part ways. He's careful. He's respecting the possibility of extra scouts coming in from Slam. Kind of. Doesn't that take the engagement over there? Taking a lot of HP losses. We'll see if he can eventually get the weak one over here. Yes, he got it. Well done. So overall, pretty good. Hey Chicho, how are you doing, Theo? I do miss Vubli auto-assigned nations. I can see the flags. Yeah, I guess Capture H could potentially use some sort of player identifier and have some sort of database against which to match the players and try to just auto-assign the flags. That'd be great. The brackets are not currently arranged by results. It's just alphabetical. So you need to read the whole thing. Lithuanians are kinda a big loser on Empire Wars, right? Feel like Bulgarians have a big edge early castle. Well, you gotta keep in mind that as of the latest patch, Empire Wars is going to start respecting the starting bonuses for civilizations. So while Lithuanians might have been in the past, it's not going to be the same that they are currently. And by the way, I just realized that the chat is not on stream, sorry. But yeah, now they do get the extra resources, for instance, so that helps quite a bit. It's going to be the first player going up to the Castle Age. Slam with Bulgarians instead is going to get a discount on blacksmith and siege workshop upgrades for food, as well as access to crepos and free militia line upgrades. Now that's about it for the team bonus. He does have faster working blacksmiths, but yeah, that's a very nice villager pick over here for the gal. Do you know who will be commenting the World tournament? Yes, T90, Dave, Neely, and Memb. If I'm not mistaken, I think the big four are going to provide commentary. Let me check. Neely, Dave, Memb, T90, yes. And then for Spanish-speaking audiences, we're gonna have Nacho and Mario. Mario Valle. What language do you speak, Nova? I am a native Spanish speaker. I speak English as well. I try to get good at it, but it's pretty difficult. And then I speak a little bit of Italian and a little bit less of French. And I did successfully complete the Japanese tree on Duolingo, but I remember nothing. That was years ago, and I never ever used it. I just wanted to complete the language tree, and I remember absolutely nothing. Guess they're just coming up now for both players. I do love the fire galley coming out from the guy over here, though. So he got spotted. Slam got spotted over here. The guy is going to start putting some pressure. speak Italian? Ciao, Nova. Ciao, Genoese Crossbowman. Spero che stai bene. Not really sure. I have a lot of sentences in my mind, but I don't want to butcher your language, sorry. How long did that Japanese course take? About a year, I think. Was it a year or was it 100 days? I don't remember anymore. I did it as part of a challenge. I wanted to either complete it in a year or in 100 days. I don't remember which one it was. And it was like several years ago. It was the first version of the Japanese tree. They have a newer version right now, which is significantly more intensive. So I guess maybe the first one was 100 days, I think, that it took me to complete it. Yeah, it was not good. It was not very comprehensive. The second version is so much better. But I haven't gone for it. I thought you were a native English speaker? Is that so? Yeah. I wish. Well, not so much actually. I'm okay being a native Spanish speaker. Regardless though, the Gal is getting ahead with a much stronger economy right now. It's got 8 extra workers compared to Slam. It's not going to be the case for much longer though. Slam's got fire ships right now, not even fire galleys. He's already gone for the war galley upgrade, so he's taking the fishing ship down over here, no problem. And the Gal's not reacting at all. He's not going for any defenses. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, the Gal is the one putting pressure against Slam, but still at the end of the day, we'll see a higher working count for the Gal, so he's getting away with the better end of the deal. While Slam, on the other hand, well, Slam's got more military units, and that's something. If he plays his cards right over here, comes forward, tries to put a little bit more pressure, especially he has to stick into 1 TC, right? He'll need to go forward. Ideally, so he's bringing some villagers over, yes. I want to see, from the red player, a siege workshop. Probably around here would be good. The problem with the siege workshop over here, though, is that he won't really have space to go for the TC. No, he does have space. Okay, there we go. So he's got... Oh! He's going for the Crepos, actually. Never mind. Well, that's good. The Crepos over here is going to be a fantastic stepping stone for him to go for extra pressure from this point onwards. He can go for siege workshops forward. And then he can go for the TCs behind the Crepos. So this is good as well. I like it. And this is what I feel Slam's gotta go for. If he just tries to make a play for economy right now, it's just gonna start falling behind even further. Or maybe not even further, but he's just gonna be playing catch up. Won't ever be able to catch up to the Gauss actual count, as long as the Gauss is keeping his own production buildings working right. He's got a 30C coming up. So it's all about the full military pressure from Slam. If you fall behind the villagers, you don't want to try and catch up unless the difference is very small and you're able to go for like 4 TCs on a map like Black Forest or Arena or something like that. On a map like this, where it's not too difficult to get the push going, you definitely want to bring the heat. So we have a second TC coming up for Slam. This is fine. This is going to protect these villagers. Doesn't mean that he necessarily is going to go for 2 TC. Oh, come on. He's got the 3rd TC on the way. Now I'm not sure. Is he really going to try and make a play for economy over here? I would understand the second TC if he was just producing from this one and he utilized this one as a defense for the villagers so that they can collect over here and they're not too far away from the Crepos. They will be able to garrison inside TC immediately. But boy, going for the 3rd TC certainly indicates an interest in trying to play for economy over here, which I do not agree with, especially against Lithuanians. The longer the game goes, the better it's going to be for the Gal. So I feel like Slam is playing himself a little bit over here. I thought you were from the Baltic for some reason. Is that so? What do they speak there? Swedish next for all the up-and-coming 82 players? Swedish. I'm not really sure which language I'm going to learn next. Right now, my focus is on learning how to speak English better. I want to get as close to native as possible. And to be fair, I can kind of sound native, but I gotta speak a lot slower, and I gotta kind of mentally rehearse the lines in my head. If I have to speak fluently, I cannot do both things at once. Regardless, as long as you cannot hear a thick Argentinian accent, then it's fine. The whole point of getting close to native level, is that people from all over the world can understand me much more so than getting rid of the accent necessarily. Estonian, Latvian, Lithuanian, right? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I really do not like Slam going for full economy. Okay, he's got a 4 siege workshop. We'll see. But here comes the Gal. Interestingly enough, the Gal's made a play for economy earlier, and now he's going for military. He's got both more villagers, more workers rather, and more military units compared to Slam. So things are looking pretty bleak for Slam. Beautiful. Yeah, this pressure is fantastic. He's just keeping Slam in check. We might see a big engagement take place over here. Let's see. Not quite, not yet. Very good unit control over here. The guy's taking so many spearmen down without taking losses with the cavalry archers. Okay, that's one cavalry archer going down. He does manage to get the monk over there as well. Even if he lost one of the knights to the conversions, this is going to be so good as he is able to get the monks over there. And with the knights, he takes the scorpion. He's roaming around still with the cavalry archers. And even if he gets cleaned up over here, it did not come for cheap for Slam, you know. He managed to defend himself successfully, but in the end, does end up taking a few losses over here with the monks and the scorpions going down. The Dogao was able to get some decent trade over there. As the game kind of stabilizes right now, we're going to see the Dogao probably just try to make a play for the Imperial Age in the next few minutes. I'm going to get myself some tea, and green tea at that. There we go. Yeah. That's a lovely sound, isn't it? Well, I don't care what you think, it's a lovely sound to me. I have a question for you guys. Do we have any Age of Empires 2 soundtrack fans around the chat right now? For anybody who might be somewhat familiar with the soundtrack of the game, what is your favorite song from the soundtrack? Let me know. Nice. Lullin's coming in off the Slam as well. The Dogao already has it. Extremely important for the cavalry archers, of course. And the blue player is getting very close to having enough to go up to the Imperial Age in a moment. LVA1 Non-Rise of Rome CD soundtrack being remixed into Age of Kings CD soundtrack. I don't really know the names of the separate songs. MBOs, auto, everything. Yeah, well, I'm asking because some of my favorite songs are from the soundtrack. Booty and Kings. I think that's the way it's called, or is it Boots and Kings? Or Kings and Booty? Something like that. It's really good. Love and Will is an incredible song as well. And Schamberger, well, Schamberger is the one that everyone knows already after the main track, right? Yeah, I'm pretty curious which ones you guys are into the most. I will beat You're Behind, Shirley. That's a good one as well. Can you hear the music, by the way? We have background music, but I'm not really sure if you can. Overall, the Gao's going out to the Imperial so much faster, so yeah, should be able to start going for trips right away. Yeah. Sorry about that. There isn't really too much action going on. There is just a castle over here, and we're waiting for the guy to get to the Imperial Age. We knew he was going out faster. We said it already. So we're just waiting for him to get there and start pumping the traps. Slam, on the other hand, doesn't really have too much over here to work with. He's fallen behind, as stated already, in worker and military count. So by the time the guy gets to the Imperial Age, we're going to see double trebuchets coming out. Double trebuchet production from both these castles, and that means that Slam's most likely going to end up getting pushed away from the center. So it's all looking great for the Gao. It's only a matter of time. 45 seconds for him to get up. And Slam is finally going out to the Imperial Age himself. This means that once the Gao gets to the Imperial Age, it's not going to be an instant GG from Slam because it's already on his way up as well. It's just going to take so long for Slam to get to a position where he'll be able to hold on against the Gao's upcoming pressure very soon. The raids from Slam on the water as well. Odds for Slam on this aren't looking pretty. Yeah. He's only now going for the castle, which means if he wants to go for trebuchet, it's going to take a hot minute. Actually, the castle's coming up faster than the Imperial Age is researching, so it's not going to be the limiting factor. However, the Gao's got the 2 trebuchets already out, and he's going for the 3rd and 4th trebuchets as well. Does he know about the castle? He doesn't know about the castle, but he's going to find out about it now. That is so close. Just one tile too far away. There we go. There we go. He knows about the castle. He was going for trebuchets to take on the Krepos and potentially the DC as well, but now he struck gold. Should be able to take the castle down over here and basically push Slam away. And Slam is going to start taking the relics back as well. He's got an extra monastery over here. Just bring the relics back. He's got 2 additional relics over there, so it's going to be 4 relics total for Slam that he's going to try to protect. And it's very important as well, as if the Gao gets a hold of the relics, he's going to benefit from them greatly, as Knights and Lightshade get the extra attack. We got an armor cavalier coming in for Slam. Man, this is so much later. Oh no, he went for the Krepos. This is not within range. Okay, this is not within range. But he's coming in though. He's got 5 trebuchets. He's going after the next Krepos. He'll be able to take on the barracks on the siege workshop afterwards as well. Hex up with the light cavalry. Well, yeah, he's got ring archer armor, heavy cavalry archer coming up, as well as bracer and chemistry already. So these are not bad. These are not the best. These might not be fully upgraded. They are still pretty decent, I guess. Sam's gonna have cavalier in a moment. Yeah, there we go. Heavy cavalry archer. We already have thumb ring. So they are just lacking Parthian tactics. Go, big engagement coming up right now. The Cavalier over here, but then we have a Halberdier as well forward from Mr. Dogao, providing a beautiful meat shield. As cast on the fire right now from 5 trebuchets. It surely goes down, doesn't it? Yes, sir. And with 27 Cavalry Archers over here, the Cavalier will simply not suffice. This is fantastic. Dogao takes the castle down, can go for the PC next. He's bringing some Halberdier into the mix as well, which will, yeah, allow the Cavalry Archer to sustain so much better as well. That's all a bit too many losses on the trebuchet department though. 4 trebuchets down, make that 5 trebuchets down. That's gonna be 2,000 resources down the drain already for the Gao. But he still retains momentum. That's a lot of Cavalry Archers and Halberdier coming in as Slam calls it GG. The military lead and the momentum from the Gao is just too much for Slam to hold on against. That's going to be 1-0 in favor of the Gao. Take a look at game number 2 in a moment. First, we'll go through the achievements. That's actually pretty good for the Gao. In the end, he ends up getting a pretty decent KD over here. About 11 to 10, a little bit higher than that. And this is certainly, yeah, going to show that sometimes it's not about going for the best possible unit you have, but for the unit that works in the situation, right? And even if it was not fully really cavalry archers, the Gao was able to make the cavalry archer play work alongside halberdier, trebuchets, and Slam. Slam went for cavalier, of course, but he struggled big time. We have a stronger economy for the Gao by quite a lot, collecting about 10,612 extra resources. Whilst for society, we'll see a stronger society for the Gao, getting not only a higher maximum villager count throughout the game, but also the fewest villager losses. He lost 2 villagers throughout the game, while Slam, on the other hand, he ended up losing 20 villagers. This is without taking into account the fishing ships. In the end, neither player got any fishing ships left. Once again, we'll switch player color as we already have Slam in the red. We are going to bring the Gao down to the blue. Perfect. So, we have an archer range already on the way for Slam, and we're going to see an archer range coming up over here for the Gao. Very standard opening for both players. This particular matchup, Slam Civilization is going to be absolutely bonkers if he can transition this into the later stages of the game. Meanwhile, the Gao, on the other hand, he's got a few things going for him. With Saracens, he's going to have bonus damage from archer units, foot archer units against buildings, so that could prove kind of problematic for the Mayans. If the Gao gets a good amount of units and manages to get maybe one archer range down, or push villagers away from here, get one of these collection buildings down as well, that'd be really good. But yeah, Slam does have a little bit of an upper hand on the matchup in the early stages because he's gonna pay less. He's got 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer line units in the Feudal, Castle, and Imperial Ages, respectively. Besides that, his economy is going to be out of this world, of course, with 15% longer lasting resources. And the 1 extra villager he begins with too. So yeah, I'm liking Slam Civilization better overall. It'll be interesting. The guy was ever able to get a sneak push going with archers and maybe get a building down or two, but that's going to be pretty difficult when he'll be protecting himself. He'll probably be defending himself against Slam's push very soon. We'll see though. Both players should be able to go up to the castle age at about the same time, as the Gao's got a head start to it. It's not going to be too massive, as Slam should be able to click up about 30 seconds later. So it's not the worst over here for Slam for sure. And the Gao? Well, yeah, the Gao's got the head start to it already, and it's going to be about 30 seconds. Exactly 32 actually. Second archer range is already up for the Gao. Second archer range is already up for Slam. Military count, neck and neck. Shot it. Once we get to the castle age, we could see Slam make a play for Eagles as well, given how heavily both players are going for archers. And now that Slam sees the archers from the Gao, going for Eagles makes a lot more sense. Meanwhile, the Gao, on the other hand, once he gets to the castle age, well, what is he going to go for? Knights? Could be. They do not translate too well into the Imperial Age for Saracens specifically, as they do not get a cavalry upgrade, but in the castle age could be sufficient. We'll see. Right now, he doesn't really have a stable though, and he's about to hit the castle age, so it's not something he'll go for right away. Something he could potentially go for if he notices Snap makes a play for Eagles, for instance. But Snap is not going for any extra barracks, and he's not even going for Eagle Scouts, so it's just going to be full archers over here from both players. And here comes the engagement. We'll see Snap trying to go for a front runner over here. To soak some damage from the Gao's units. Doesn't end up getting the first archer over here, and the Gao's just going to wait It's better because he's got the head start to the castle age. He should be able to go for crossman and balking arrow so much faster. So he's going for it earlier. And he's got the upgrade. Slam on the other hand. Yeah, he's on 11 archers over here. So he's got a better military count. Just gotta wait until he gets the upgrades, of course. And he's going for it. Gotta be careful. Oh, he loses one. 9 to 8. Favor of Slam still. Equal upgrades. Yes, sir. The guy's about to finish researching ballistics, though. If we take a look at Slam's point of view, or actually side of the map, we see a university coming up after the first TC, first additional TC. So that's going to be 2 TCs in ballistics for Slam versus 1 TC in ballistics for the guy. But this should be really, really good, though, for the blue player because he's had a head start in researching the upgrade. So he'll end up cleaning up Slam's units, and Slam cannot really do too much over here. Maybe if he plays his cards right, he'll be able to trade for a comparable amount of crossbows, but he'll still be left behind as the military count's so much higher for the Gal right now. And it makes sense, he's sticking to 1 TC. And this is very interesting. Will the Gal just stick to full 1 TC push? Right now he's got only 2 archer ranges, so it doesn't seem like it. But he definitely needs to put a little bit of pressure. By the way, guys, this was the 3rd series of the 2nd round. So this is the 6th series we are covering so far. And we'll jump into the 7th series from the 9 that we are going to cover today from the first 3 rounds of the extra qualifier. After the series is over, but I will need a break though. Probably about 5 minutes or so to have my breakfast. Because I'm starving. For a siege workshop on the way for the Gao. Man, it seems like his pressure is going to be so strong. If he was going to stick to 1 TC full push, I would have liked for him to go for the siege workshop earlier, but he is going for a 2nd TC, so it's not going to be an all-out kind of push in the end. There we go. Fantastic. Get some 5 hours without eating. Take care of your own health, Nova. That is what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. It's all calculated. I'm just now coming into the 18th hour of my fast, so it's on purpose. I'm not really starving, by the way. I'm just saying that because I'm starting to feel a little bit hungry. And if I don't start, if I don't have my breakfast before the 2nd or the 3rd round, the 3rd round's going to be too long for me to wait. So we have a split push coming up. Do you fast often? I do intermittent fasting every day. I do 18-6 actually. 18 fast, 6 hours to eat. So I usually eat from 6 p.m. to midnight. Which is why you often hear me talk about breakfast so late. Beautiful defense for Slam. This could be bad though, because now that he's got most of his units up in the north, this is going to allow the Gao to keep on pushing from down south over here, and because it's got some incredible archers over here, might be able to get on the archer range as well. If he places cards right over here, can get on the magnet over there. And even without targeting the archer range with crossbows, he still has both these magnets up to play with. So that's another siege, actually, sorry, another archer range going down for Slam. Nice push though coming in from Slam. The difference is that these archers, unlike the Gaos, are not quite as self-sufficient. So even if dogao ends up losing the siege over here, he should still be able to go up to the TC with the crossbows alone, you know? It's a nice shot. In the end, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Yeah, and dogao's actually going back. I don't like that. Yeah, I think he's got to stick forward and just try to keep on putting pressure over here once again. Going for the extra TCs later and just playing for economy significantly later when Slam was the first player going for extra TCs means that dogao's playing catch up, and you can see that the Slam still retains an 11 villager lead. Doesn't seem like dogao is going to be able to catch up anytime soon, so he kind of has to go for military, and he kind of has to make this push work, otherwise Slam's stronger economy is going to pay off big time the longer the game goes, of course, and we are getting close to the tipping point, I would say, where it's going to be too late for the dogao to start doing damage, and Slam's going to start reaping the benefits of the extra villager count. He's got a 4 TC right now as well, so he should be able to protect his economy pretty well.
Tabish.
Ashike?
Shot it. Nam.
Here we go. Wheelbarrows here now for the dogao.
Tabish. Amrok. What's that?
Beautiful. Slam was able to sneak some of the archers still, though. Good thing that the dogao pulled the villagers away from here. Otherwise, that'd be catastrophic. He's collecting gold from the right-hand side instead. Yeah, that's fine. Now he should know about Slam's army, so he's going to bring his own archers back, and he should be able to defend. Plus, he's got some extra units already queued up. Too scared to click on the link? Who dropped out a Red Bull wall, though? Nobody. The extra qualifier is a just-in-case event to define who would potentially be filling in for a player that may drop from the tournament in the future. But so far, as far as we are aware, all the qualified players are still slated to go and participate in the LAN event. Should any visa or travel or sickness issues arise, we are going to have one of these players step up. Or maybe more than one. We'll see. Nice. Beautiful castle from Slam. This is basically going to stabilize the game. There's no way for Slam or for the dogao to keep on pushing from the south over here, so yeah, Slam's going to stabilize over here, and he's gonna go up to the Imperial Age very soon. This could be really good for the Canadian player. The dogao, on the other hand, he's going for extra TCs right now, but once again, this is just peanuts, just drops in the bucket. He's trying to catch up while Slam still stays right now 15 villages ahead. Looks very promising for the Canadian anyway. And who here is rooting for Slam? Who here is rooting for the dogao? Let me know. I'll tell you I'm rooting for a full series, and in a best of 3 that is not going to be asking for much, but it seems like it's certainly what we're probably getting, given how the game is looking right now. Slam boy! Binge might have troubles if things continue the way they are in Europe. That would be a shame. Yeah, I heard something about that the European Union was putting on hold a deal that they had for Russian visas, but I'm not really sure how that evolved. I'm not really sure there are any news at all. No Imperial Age coming after the dogao anytime soon, and Slam's making a switch already. Oh, the Magnon shot though! Damn, boy! Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cross was down. That honestly could have been a lot worse even. And that is not good. What is going on with the dogao over here? Losing a few extra crossbows over there. It's gonna be left on only 9 crossbows. And big shots from Slam. This is great because dogao had a significant military lead. That is no longer the case, right? In Slam, he's going for Eagle Warriors. This is not the best engagement, by the way. He's got Eagle Scouts and he doesn't even have chainmail armor. But he's going for Eagle Warriors. He's going for chainmail armor. It's gonna be in the Imperial Age in 10 seconds, which means we're most likely than not going to see Elite Eagle Warriors coming in very soon. And because he already has a castle, he should be able to go for El Dorado if he saves the resources. So he's got Elite Eagle Warriors on the way. And that is huge. A lot of barracks coming up as well. And Flygon, thank you so much for the bits. Cheering for those death canals because... Craigasm, yeah. Thank you so much for the bits, man. Appreciate it. Slam without horse collar though. He was waiting for you to bring that up before going for that, and heavy plow as well. That deserves a replay. Ah, we could do it afterwards, but I don't know. I feel like it was not big enough to really go back, but it was a juicy shot in any case. Maybe it was. 5 barracks producing right now. Plate mail armor is already here. Elite Eagle Warrior. You know, cavalry archers on paper, they will take on Eagle Warriors, but it's gonna be so micro intensive. It's not good. Now we have El Dorado, and that's gonna make it significantly harder, of course, for basically any unit to take on Eagle Warriors. So things are looking pretty grim for dogao, and it seems that we might be on to the final few minutes of the game. Dogao's getting to the Imperial Age right now, but Slam Boy, he's got 17 stone miners. He's scrapped enough stone together to go for a 4 castle over here, and once he starts pumping trebuchets, the castles from dogao will start dropping, so he knows what's coming up. And he calls a GG over here as Slam takes game number 2. We are going to jump into game number 3 in just one moment. Let me go and fetch the game. Okay, I got it. And we're going to jump into this one. So welcome everyone to game number 3 in the series. Once again, we're going to be switching dogao over to the blue color, and we are going to be good to go. Show us! One of my favorite maps from the map pool for RBWL. And I gotta wonder, I think these are the final maps for Wallow. I don't think they are going to introduce anything new in the main event, right? Does anybody know if any new maps are going to be introduced? I think it's probably just going to be the same from the qualifier. Regardless. See Demolition Raft coming in for dogao, which indicates a lack of interest into trying to contest water. Instead, he's just going to go after the fishing ships and be done with it. Meanwhile, Slam, on the other hand, Slam's actually going for galleys. He's playing Vikings, so he gets... Oh! 10% discount. Actually, a 15% discount, sorry, on Navy production. Good reaction from Slam, though. He almost gets completely flattened over there with a single demo. So yeah, if dogao is not really fighting over water, he's going to save the resources and just go out to the castle age. Should be able to get there significantly faster compared to Slam. Why is that? Because we have shorefish over here, and shorefish are not really the most efficient. Get it? They're not the most efficient. I'll see myself out. They're not the most efficient source of food. So players seldom go for water control over here. It's usually not really worth it. Instead, we see Slam go for galleys. He's got an archer range coming up right now. And if we take a look at dogao down south, he does have an archer range over here as well. He's going to end up losing the fishing ships over here. And I gotta wonder if he's going to go for a demolition raft to go for the rest of the fishing ships from Slam or not. I don't know the new civilizations will. Which civilization has the advantage? On water, Vikings for sure. On land, Hindustan is 100%. Especially the longer the game goes, we have incredible gunpowder for Hindustanis, which attack neither hand cannoneer or longer range. They're going to counter infantry, and Vikings are infantry and naval civilization on paper. They do have fully upgraded arbalesters, but then we have, for Hindustan, is plate, bard, and armor available to them. which is great compared to before where they would have only chain rather than armor when they were just Indians. And they have 25% faster attacking camels as well, so it's overall pretty good. Unsubbed? Yeah, but this is not really going to be resolved on water. This is... I don't want to say waste the resources, because now we'll be able to potentially defend his existing free fishing ships against demolition rafts, potentially. So the dogao goes for demolition rafts and tries to get the shots, and then Slam's able to shot down the demolition rafts before they connect. That's going to be wasted resource for the dogao, right? So there's that, but this is most likely going to go, I imagine, mostly on land. And the longer the game goes, the more I'm going to be liking Hindustanis. One thing that Slam is going to have, though, and mind you, Hindustanis camels are not going to be particularly strong against archers. They are just going to have standard stats. Is the fact that Slam with free wheelbarrow and free handcard might be able to go up to the Imperial Age faster, which is often the case with Vikings. And with an early Arbalister push, maybe he can make that work, but in all honesty, this map is so turtly from what we have seen in the past already that I just don't think it's going to be the case too much. There we are. Nice push. Castle Age is coming up for Sam. A little bit later though. Yeah. Slam's able to defend over here just fine. That's really good. That's really good. As the dogao loses the units over here, he won't really have an army to upgrade. He's going for Balkan arrow over here. Well, what is going to be affected by that? He still has some, I guess, but Slam's already got an ahead immediate char count. Although it can be kind of deceiving because of the galleys, right? Oh, but check this out. Slam's actually going pretty heavily into galley production. What is this for? He actually is going for fishing ships. What? This is I think this is the very first time that I ever see anyone on this map ever going for fishing ships. All right. And so heavy navy production. The dogao instead, he's got a TC on the left hand side. And he's got another TC coming up behind his main TC. So that's pretty good. It's going to start collecting from the neutral golds. Yeah, and Slam on the other hand, he's going to be collecting from fish. Okay. You know, I mean, you're on the field age. You cannot go for extra TC. So producing fish over here is going to be the closest you have to producing from more than one TC. It's going to be the closest you have to booming in the fuel age on this map. For non-human civilizations, of course. And yeah, Slam's getting close to having enough to go up to the Imperial Age as well. He's going for a defensive siege workshop, however, in a monastery. So yeah, he's not just saving the resources. He's not going to go up just yet. You know, I honestly wouldn't have been against a single TC. Fast imp kind of approach from Slam over here. I feel like it's probably his best chances against Hindustanis. And the dogao, yeah, of course. He's catching up and working on right now with the extra TCs, and from this point onwards, he should be able to start pulling ahead. What does water control give Slam? It's going to give him some level of land control as well. As if, for instance, we saw the dogao try to come forward, or over here, for instance, he was trying to go for a forward castle around this area, right? Just to prevent Slam from getting to the center. Then Slam could just come in pretty easily with a few, you know, cannon galleon over here. Take the castle down. Potentially go around here as well. Take the TC down. So water control over here can be useful. But yeah, it's the first time that I ever see somebody actually invest that much into it. And also invest that much into fishing ships. Even if it's just a few extra. I think you went for 4 total. There's the 4 TC coming out for the guy on the left hand side and Slam. Yeah, Slam's contesting the right hand side. So far, kind of neck and neck. Work account's about the same for both players. The guy's a little bit, looking a little bit stronger though. Yeah, military count's looking a little bit better for Slam. There we go. Beautiful. The guy's gonna start contesting water as well. Maybe the first time that I see both players invest that heavily. But the guy knows what's coming up potentially if he doesn't take on Slam. And it's not only the cannon galleon, by the way, it's also the potential for longboats. Slam with a good amount of longboats could provide some support to land units from water as well. Without the land units being able to take on the longboats, of course. Here we go. It's really good though for the Gao. Doesn't end up getting some of the fishing ships in the end, and Slam goes back down to 3. So yeah, the Gao isn't really producing military units too heavily. He's got only the 1 Mangonel coming out from the right hand side siege workshop, and that's about it. Everything seems to point out at the Gao making a play for the Imperial Age, especially as he's getting a castle up on the left hand side. He kinda needs to go up to the Imperial Age to take full advantage of it by going for trebuchets. Well, Slam on the other hand, he's been collecting some stone, but he's not there yet. He doesn't have enough to go for the castle. So he won't really be going out to the Imperial Age anytime soon. And the Gao, he's looking good. He's got a siege workshop coming up on the left hand side. And check this out, Slam knows about the castle right now. Is that going to prompt him to make a play for the Imperial Age? I guess so. Especially, you know, now the Gao knows that Slam knows that he's going up very soon, that he's got the castle over here in front and that he should be going up. And he's going to try to rush the Imperial Age himself as well. And both players will end up going up at about the same time, which is remarkable. We still don't have hand card for the Gao, but he's got such a villager lead that it doesn't really matter. There we go, the Gao's gonna go up faster. And Slam's finally going for the castle himself on the right hand side. And the Gao's got another castle coming up on the right hand side himself. This is really good. If he's able to go for trebuchets from both the castles and then go take this one down, that pushes Slam away. And then if he goes for trebuchets from the left hand side, he can start knocking on Slam's base already, on the doors of Slam's base. And Imperial Age is coming up over here, so the Gao's gonna have a head start to it, with more castles to work with as well. It's looking really promising for the Brazilian player. And if you're rooting for Slam over here, I would say you probably need to start sending some energy. Unfortunately, these are recorded games, so it's probably not going to make too much of a difference. But if you believe in something, you can still do it. Oh, the magnet shot though! Careful! It's actually working really well against both the war galleys and the crossbows. Got the flu, not energy to send, but I can try. Guys, after this series, we're gonna have the final round to go for today, the 3rd round, so the final 3 sets for the day, and of course tomorrow we'll finish the whole thing. want to believe. Let's go. Really just coming up now for Slam as well. Is going for Minotaurs. Cirques. Let's check. There we go. Imperial Age is here for Mr. dogao already. And what do we get? No trebuchets. No. He's got 3 castles, but no trebs coming out. He's got the resources to go for it. Instead, he's going for Elite Gulam. Yeah, and you know, Slam, I don't think he's got the means to defend himself against this. The Gulam are going to obliterate any archer units or range units, which is half the equation for Vikings on land. The other half is going to be Berserks. And he's going for some, but a big problem right here for Slam is the production potential. If you take a look, Berserks are coming out from 2 castles only. And most importantly, on the right hand side we have a castle from Slam, but also a castle from dogao, so it doesn't seem like Slam will be able to... Actually, dogao won't be able to push, but Slam won't be able to push either. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, dogao's got 2 castles versus only 1 from Slam, so production should be much stronger on the left hand side as well. Hey Eric, hi, welcome. I'm Brazilian too. Nice. Hey, Internews. Gam means big dog? Yes. Eco for Zergs there. Boy, he's going for lone swords over here. Doesn't seem like he'll be able... Well, Berserks, once again, because of the production limitation of having fewer castles, especially on the left-hand side where he's doubled by dogao, cannot really make a play for it alone. So I do understand the 2 on the swordsman play over here, but it's just so resource intensive. You know, dogao went for Elite Gulam, but Slam had to go for Minotaurs, for lone swords. He had to go for 2 on the swordsman. He's gonna have to go for champion. All the upgrades over here just to have something that's going to be viable and it's going to allow him to defend against this push. We have on the right hand side. Finally the church is coming up for the guy. Yes, he's got bombard cannons over here as well. Beautiful. This castle should crumble very soon. And the Gulam are just soaking damage from the center. I have no idea what that is about. I think he's just sending the Gulam over the right hand side. Yeah. He's going over the right hand side over here to try and get the raids going. And this could be huge, guys. If he brings all the units from the left hand side and he pairs that up with the units he's training from the right hand side, he should be training on the right hand side, this will make it very difficult for Slam to defend himself. Berserks over here are working out for the time being, you know. And champion is coming up, but Slam's gotta hold on until he's got enough to hold on against this, to defend himself against this. The ultimate anti-ship unit, the Gulam. It worked out pretty well, you know. We don't really have much in terms of navy over here from Slam. And then on the left hand side, we have some trebuchets coming in from the red player finally. And we do have 2 castles over here still, so we could potentially see Gulam production coming out from the left, but the dogao doesn't really have the population space to go for much of anything, unfortunately. So he's got to take care of the champion over here before he's able to go and try to target the trebuchet. Even then, I'm not really sure if he's going to have enough Gulam though. He's got 10, and he's got some space to keep on going for a few more, so he might be able to come in and just dive straight into the trap and take them down. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, the castle's dead already from Slam, so he's going to end up getting pushed away from the gold over here without access to the gold on the right hand side. So now it's going to be effectively out of gold. He's got no gold miners anymore. This is extremely effective for dogao. What is Slam going to do? I don't think it's got gold back home, does he? He's got some over here, but where is it? And how much does it have? It's got 800. And he's got control of it, so I guess he could potentially keep on collecting gold a little bit longer, but I just don't see how it's going to. Yeah, he just calls it GG, guys. He just calls it GG. He probably doesn't really care about losing the game over here and losing the series because this is a group stage, right? So he still has 3 more series to go through. And yeah, this one does end up going in favor of the Gao. 2-1, and I think that's going to be 2 series already for the Gao, right? And only 1 series for Slam. If we take a look at the achievements before going back, we'll see a very nice KD for the Gao over here, getting a very close to 3-to-2 KD ratio, whilst for economy, we have a much stronger economy for Mr. the Gao, collecting about 7,000 extra resources. Faster uptimes for the Gao, yeah, for both the Castle and the Imperial Ages, and overall he looked pretty dominating over here. This is just the way it went, and what we were expecting to see, right? In the standards, we're just going to take on Vikings, no matter what, unless it boiled to water control, which was never going to be the case. It was looking much better for the Gao. So guys, this marks the end of the second round of series, and we will be taking a look at the third round in a moment. So let me update the brackets over here. That's 4 games for the Gao, 2 sets. And Slam, on the other hand, it's got 1 set and 3 games. All right, okay.